Hello students, this is Prabhat Agrawal and I have made this video specially keeping in mind the students who are going to prepare for the BCom entrance exam 2020, especially for the University of Allahabad. In this video, we are going to basically focus on the syllabus, at the same time the pattern which is going to be followed in the BCom entrance exam of 2020. The main concern with the students is this, that they don't know that what exactly are the topics they have to study for this BCom entrance exam, and in this video you are exactly going to understand that what are the various subjects which he needs to focus on, and at the same time out of each and every subject what are the total amount of questions which are expected to come in the exam. So talking about the subjects, there are basically three parts in which the subjects have been categorized. Like the first part is the general English, or you can say general Hindi. Now basically why is it like general English at the same time oblique it is general Hindi? Because there is a choice here that whosoever the students want to attempt the paper in English, he can do so. And if the student is more comfortable in Hindi, he can go for the Hindi aspect as well. So talking about the general English or the general Hindi, there will be as many as 20 questions coming from this section. Now what exactly will be coming in this general English or in this general Hindi? In this English or Hindi part, it's not going to come like the literature part. Not any kind of a story or any kind of poem is going to come. Basically, the language part is going to come. The grammar part is going to come. The prepositions, the antonyms, the synonyms, give one word for the following kind of. So these kind of things are going to come whether it is general English or it is general Hindi. There will be overall 20 questions coming from this section. Moving on to the next part, which is general awareness. Now what exactly this general awareness is, you can also say it like general knowledge, or some part of current affairs will also be included into it. Like the questions related to some sports, some movies, Bollywood, some current affairs like some talking about the current scenario of Indian economy, talking about some kind of history, geography. So exactly 10 questions are going to come from this section. So it is a very important section and most of the students are not very comfortable with this general awareness part. But the thing is that only 10 questions are going to come. So you can prepare it in whatever the way you can. So just the 10 questions are going to come from this aspect. Next, which is the most important aspect is, which is the commerce aspect. Now, first of all, we need to understand what this commerce is all about. So when we call commerce, commerce doesn't mean that only the business or the commerce which most of the commerce graduates or commerce students have already studied in class 11th and 12th. When we are talking about commerce, it includes almost everything. It includes accountancy, it includes economics, it includes everything which is related with commerce. So talking about the commerce, there will be as many as 120 questions will be coming. And this 120 questions are going to be subdivided into various further categories. So now I'm going to inform you or tell you that this commerce is going to be divided into how many parts. So basically it's going to be divided into 7 parts. And each of the part will be having certain amount of questions which are going to come. So starting with the first and the foremost important aspect of commerce, which is accountancy. So talking about the accountancy, what exactly is going to come in this accountancy part? Like whatever the accounting syllabus is there in class 11th or in class 12th, talking about the chapters like journal, ledger, trial balance, cash book, petty cash book, bills of exchange, rectification of errors. These chapters basically from the class 11th, and talking about the class 12th, the chapters you already know, like it is partnership, it is like debentures, shares, it's like a non-profit organization, final accounts of company. So these topics are going to come from accountancy part. In short, whatever you have studied in class 11th and 12th in accountancy, so a summary of all that is going to come. It will be including as many as 40 questions out of the 120 which is prescribed for the commerce aspect. So 40 questions are going to come. Now, many of the students will be thinking, so that what kind of questions will be coming from the accountancy, whether the questions are going to come like solving the entire question and all. So I must tell you that the questions will not be basically focusing on just the practical aspect. Many of the questions in this accountancy part will be also focusing on the theory aspect. And I would say it will be a 50-50. That means out of the 40 questions, at least 20 questions will be of theory based and 20 questions will be of practical based. And the practical based questions are also going to be not very tough. Those will be the simple ones, like in partnership, calculating the new profit sharing ratio, old profit sharing ratio, sacrificing ratio, gaining ratio. These kind of questions are going to basically come. So moving on to the next aspect of the commerce, which is the business methods, or in some books you will find it as business organization. Now, what exactly this business method or this business organization is all about? This is almost the same thing which you have studied by the name of business studies in CBSE or commerce in ISC. So this business method or organization will be consisting 20 questions. And what exactly will be a part of business method and organization? It will be including the various forms of businesses, like you can say sole proprietorship, partnership, joint stock company, cooperative societies, one person company, limited liability partnership. So whatever the different forms of the businesses are there, it will be including basically those different forms of businesses, and it will be focusing on the features, the merits, the demerits, and the peculiarities of various forms of businesses. So 20 questions will be allocated to this business method or organization. Now moving ahead to the next aspect, which is a very important aspect, which is economics. So talking about the economics, this economics will be basically concerned with class 12th. So whatever the economics the ISC students or the CBSE students have already studied in their class 12th, more or less in this BCom entrance exam, the syllabus will be from that part only, with some part coming from the class 11th as well. Like it will be including the topics including like the various definitions of economics. As you already know, like there are four main definitions like Adam Smith, then this is Marshall, then the Robbins, then the Samuelson. So talking about these definitions will be coming. Then economics as an art, economics as a science, normative, positive, then economics as inductive, as deductive science. So these kind of things will be coming from class 11th. And from class 12th, various kind of laws will be coming like law of demand, law of supply, cost analysis, production analysis, laws of returns. So these are the topics which are going to come from economics. So there will be as many as 20 questions allocated to this part of economics. Now moving ahead to next aspect of commerce, which is money. Now what exactly this money is? This will be including the things related with money or currency. Like it will be including the forms of money. Like we all know that there are various forms of money, like commodity money, paper money, metallic money. These forms of money will be coming. Then at the same time, it will also be including like various functions of money, like primary functions, secondary functions, contingent functions will be coming. So these aspects will be covered in the money part. It will also be including like demonetization of money and all these kind of things will be coming. So as many as 15 questions will be coming from this aspect. Now moving ahead to next aspect, which is the banking aspect. So talking about the banking aspect, so it will be including like the topics related with commercial banks, the central bank, various types of commercial banks. At the same time, it will also be including like the functions of commercial bank, the functions of central bank, then credit creation process by commercial bank, credit control process by the central bank. So these things will be included in the banking aspect. It will be including as many as 15 questions from this banking aspect. Now moving ahead to the next aspect of commerce, which is management. So talking about the management, it will be including like the functions of management, like PodScope, which you have studied, like planning, organizing, directing, reporting, staffing, controlling, budgeting, these kind of things. The functions of management will be coming. At the same time, the levels of management, the top level, the middle level, the lower level, their functions, their activities, the role of managers. So these are the things which are going to come from the management aspect. But this aspect will be very little, and only 5 questions are allocated to this particular aspect. Now coming on to the next aspect, which is insurance. So talking about the insurance, it will be including like the principles of insurance, like you have studied like insurable interest, mitigation of loss, subrogation, contribution. So these kind of principles will be coming. The types of insurance will be coming: the life insurance, the general insurance, and general insurance further divided into like fire insurance, marine insurance, these things. So as many as 5 questions will be allocated from this insurance part. Then after we have already studied now the subjects and the number of allotted questions. So once again, I'm highlighting all this. Like there are 3 aspects: general English or Hindi consisting 20 questions, general awareness consisting as many as 10 questions, then the commerce consisting as 120 questions, which is further divided, like which I've already shown, like further divided into 40 questions for accountancy, then 20 questions for business methods, 20 questions for economics, 15 questions for money, 15 questions for banking, 5 questions for management, and 5 questions for insurance. So there will be in all, if we include this, like 20 plus 10 plus 120, that is 150 questions will be totally coming in the exams. Now moving ahead to some other aspects. Now we are going to focus on the general rules of the entrance exams. What are the basic things which you have to focus on this entrance exam? What are the rules? What are the patterns which you have to follow? So I have pointed out, like the first point says, one can only use the black ball point pen to fill up the circles. This exam will be objective based, which means you will be given some options, and the options will be like in the form of circles, and you have to fill up the circles if it is offline mode. And if it is online mode, then obviously you have to give the exam onto the computer itself, so you just have to click on the correct answer. But if you are filling up the offline mode, then you have to use the black ball point pen to fill up the gaps. Black ball point pen. Then moving on to the point number 2, only objective based questions are going to be asked. So now those who don't know what exactly this objective based questions are all about, there are 2 types of questions, like subjective and objective. Subjective questions are those in which questions is asked and you have to describe the answer, like in 30 words, 40 words, 50 words, 1 side, 2 side, like that. But in objective based questions, the question will be given certain alternatives, and out of the alternatives you have to select the best alternative which you feel is going to be the correct answer. So only the tick you have to do onto the correct answer, nothing else. You don't have to describe the answers. Then moving on to the point number 3, each question will have 4 alternative options in which one has to choose the correct option. Every question will be having 4 alternative options in which one is going to be correct. So you have to just choose the correct option out of the 4 alternatives which are already given in the question. So that is very simple. I think you can understand this. Next, moving on to the next point now. So the next point says, each question will carry equal marks. There will be no discrimination, like accountancy question is going to be of more marks and economics question is going to be of less marks. No, not like that. Every question will be having equal marks. That is approximately 2 marks each. And why I'm using the word approximately, because every year the university changes the marks allocated to the questions. Sometimes they give 2 marks to each question, or sometimes they give 3 marks. So that's why I've said that is approximately 2 marks each. So that doesn't make any difference. If it is 2 marks, it will be 2 marks. If it's 3 marks, then too it's not going to make any difference. Then next point now, point number 5th, marking will be done in the following manner. There are certain systems which are going to be followed while doing the checking. Like the first point says, for every correct answer, 2 marks will be awarded. It means that if you are going to have one correct answer, you'll be given 2 marks. But for every wrong answer, 1/4 mark, that is 0.50 mark, that is not 50, that is 0.50, half mark, will be deducted from your scored marks. That means that if you have done, say you have done 5 questions, out of which say 3 questions you have done correctly, you have got 6 marks, that is 2 into 3, that is 6 marks you have got as a positive score. And 2 questions have been wrong, so half marks each, that makes 2 questions 1 mark. So your will be net score will be 6 marks minus 1, that is 5 marks will be getting. So for every wrong answer, 1/4 mark, that is 0.50 mark will be deducted. That means half mark will be deducted from your scored marks. I hope this point is clear. Next rule of the marking is, for every unattempted answer, 0 mark will be given. What exactly this means is that instead of doing the wrong answer, if you don't attempt that particular answer, you will be awarded 0 mark. That means if you are in doubt, it is better not to attempt the question rather than attempting it wrongly. Because if you don't attempt the answer, you will be given 0 mark. But if you will attempt the question and it will be wrong, 0.50 mark will be deducted. So it's better to score 0 mark by not attempting the answer rather than scoring minus 0.5 by giving a wrong answer. Coming on to the next point now. Time duration of the exam is usually of 2 hours. Why I'm using the word usually? Because again, it's not certain. Sometimes it is 2 hours and sometimes it is 2.5 hours. But basically it is of 2 hours. So time duration of the exam is generally of 2 hours. That is 120 minutes. And the last point for the day is, for getting the name in the merit list. I am including this point because you must be thinking or wondering how much marks you should be scoring so that you can get the short selection. So for getting the name in the merit list, one is expected to score approximately 60% of the total score. Say for example, your entire paper is of 150 questions, and each question is of 2 marks. That makes it 300 as maximum marks. And out of the 300 maximum mark, you have to score at least 60% of the total score. That means 60% of 300 marks is coming approximately 180 marks. So if you are scoring 180 marks out of 300, that surely makes your name coming in the merit list. So in the first list of merit, you'll be getting your selection. So this point says, for getting the name in the merit list, one is expected to score approximately 60% of total score. That is at least 180 marks out of 300 maximum marks. And this is my name. This is Prabhat Agrawal, who is making this video. So I hope this video must have been making your doubts clear. So this video was all about the BCom entrance exam 2020, and we have discussed the syllabus as well as the pattern. You can go through this like the subjects and the marks and the questions allocated to these. So you can go through this quickly now. The subjects are General English, General Hindi, General Awareness, Commerce, to be subdivided into Accountancy, Business Methods, Economics, then Money, Banking, Management and Insurance. And then we have studied the General Rules, which we have already discussed. So I hope I have made each and everything clear to you all. Hope to see you all the students very soon in the next video. So for the time, goodbye and take care of yourself. Bye.